Hey guys, it's Alaija aka Kingdom Babe here, and you're watching Surviving Solitude. Surviving Solitude is a series I created to help you understand and navigate your way through long seasons of solitude or through short solitary moments in your life. From our childhood to our adult years, we often experience these monsters when we are alone. They go from being under our beds and hiding in our closets to ruining our relationships and distorting our character. Now I know what you're thinking, monster? What monsters? And no, I'm not talking about that at all. In fact, the monsters that I speak of don't have 10 eyes, they don't have furry backs, massive claws, razor-sharp teeth, or any of that kind of stuff. In fact, they usually take the form of our character traits, personality, and thought process. These kind of monsters usually come out in our most absurd actions or most manipulative motives. The boogeyman and Frankenstein might be some of the most popular scary monsters that you know. But the scariest monsters have names like jealousy, greed, lust, hatred, selfishness, manipulation, self-centeredness, and so much more. I only named a few, but there's literally like so many of them. Don't worry, they actually don't live under your beds or hide in your closets. Some of these monsters come from traumatic experiences, while others seem to be passed down from generation to generation. Sometimes even a small habit can become monstrous and unruly if not dealt with. Yes. Now relax, I'm not trying to judge you, but there is a very big possibility that you might be dealing with a monster or two and just don't know it. Now I don't want you to completely equate this with being demon possessed or something, so let me break this down for you. Anything that causes you to treat others poorly, hold you back, or not enjoy your life to the fullest, or forget about your devotion to God can be a monster. Now with this, you usually won't have to look too hard or too far. See, the noise of our daily routines can make us blind and deaf to these issues. But when we sit alone in the stillness and quietness of solitude, we start to realize how big, loud, and ugly these monsters really are. In solitude, they usually reveal themselves or become exposed and extremely obvious. If we look inside ourselves, we might find them hiding in the corners of our minds and leaning on the walls of our hearts. Facing these monsters is nothing short of intimidating. It's honestly one of the hardest, most scariest parts of being in solitude. Noticing and trying to deal with the things that are deeply rooted in our hearts and in our minds that we know aren't right. In solitude, you're bound to meet parts of yourself that even you don't like. Trying to run from your monsters will only lead you into insanity. And because they are part of your mind, they won't leave you alone or go away until you make them. And once you come to a realization of this, it's not right for you to just continuously ignore them or keep running away from your problems. Don't do that to yourself, because that can be very harmful and mentally draining. Now, trust me, I know it's not easy at all to take down these monsters, but with these tips, it's very possible. One of the first things you want to do when dealing with monsters is stop making excuses for them. A monster's main plan in your life is to devour you, to steal, kill, and destroy you. They're not here to play games with you or take it easy on you. They want the goodness that's in you and will replace it with the badness that's in them. Nip it in the bud, immediately. Completely uproot it. The more excuses you make, the bigger your monsters will grow, which can make it even harder for you to fight them off. And who wants to deal with that? Once you realize something is wrong, there is no reason why you shouldn't be doing everything in your power to try and fix it. The next thing you want to do is face it head on. Now I know this probably sounds like a little pointless and extremely intimidating, but with this kind of thing, you can't beat around the bush. When you're looking for the face of your monsters, you might wind up actually seeing your own reflection, which can be very devastating and make you want to look away from the situation completely. You'll find yourself asking, how did it come to this? How did I get so bad? The realization that it's actually you and not anyone or anything else can be very, very challenging. But this beast has to go down. Don't let it continuously take control of you, but you take control of it. In more intense and severe situations, you would often have to deny yourself. And most of the time, that's the only way to really and effectively do it. Go against everything that you allowed yourself to think, do, and become, and cling tightly to God. A lot of the time, this is not a job that you can do on your own. You may have created this monster, but you really should allow God to help you demolish it. Deny yourself and surrender to God. Luke 9:23 is one of my favorite verses that actually speaks on this, so check it out. And lastly, trust in God. God is bigger than the boogeyman. Trust that God is bigger than the enemies that you have, even the ones that you created. This isn't a war that you can fight in the flesh, but it's mostly a mental and spiritual kind of war. You're gonna need all the spiritual help you can get to face this battle. And because God is great, you should trust him. God knows all things. He even knows about your monsters. So if you completely and undeniably trust in him and lean not into your own understanding, but trust in the Lord, he will deliver you and he will never forsake you or leave you. So the next time you're faced with the ugliness of a monster, remember the beauty of God's power. Well guys, that's it for episode 2 of Surviving Solitude. I hope you guys really liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and push the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post future content. And if you haven't already, go back and watch episode 1 of Surviving Solitude so that you can be caught up on the things we talked about before this. I love you guys so much, and I hope that when you're facing your monsters, you can beat them. I love you so much. Thank you for watching this video. And until next time,